welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be starting yet another reading vlog, and I want you guys to know before we start that Winnie is laying like right under my tripod right now and she looks so peaceful. I had this little bit of like packing material on my floor and she loves anything that's like super crinkly. So you guys now have to look at how cute she looks right now. Look at the little angel. She's so cute. Welcome back to another reading vlog. I am... might also hear that a little bit throughout the update. Welcome to another reading vlog. I'm very excited to start this one because I have a little bit of a theme for this weekly reading vlog. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to read this week, but I knew I wanted to read something. Obviously, that's why we're here. Since the vlog that I filmed last weekend was a 24-hour readathon, I wanted some reading plans for this week that were a little bit less of a commitment because that really was quite the commitment. So I decided to have like a little bit of a theme this week. And I'm going to be tackling short books that are on my TBR. So these are all like novella length books that I've had on my TBR. One of them's a library book, but it's also on my April TBR, so it still counts. That I would really like to try to read this week. I want to read all 4 of these this week. So we will see if I can do that. I do also have like some fun manga that I could read this week as well, which we'll talk about. And I just have some other like general plans as well. So let me show you the 4 books that I would really like to read this week, and then we can get on into the vlog. All right, so I'm quickly popping in here to provide some context for the rest of this video. I filmed the intro to this video, and Daisy's of course walking by right now. I filmed the intro to this video about 3 weeks ago in the beginning of April. It's filled with so much hope and ambition for the month of April, and we won't get into that right now, but I ended up not really following the TBR for this video at all, so I thought I would, instead of just like lying to you for 4 minutes about my reading plans, tell you now what I'm gonna read so you know what the vibe is for this video. So I did still stick with my short book theme. I just kind of went a different direction with it. But do you mind? I, of course, have Daisy with me, and she is being irritating. You're so cute, but you're so annoying. To the floor. I ended up reading 2.5 of the books in the Emma M. Lyon series. I read the 3rd, 4th, and half of the 5th one. So that happened. And then I also did read The River Has Roots by Amal El-Mohtar. This was the only book, one of the only books on my original TBR that I ended up reading. And then I also read some volumes of manga, which me from 3 weeks ago will tell you about in a moment here. But like actual novel reading plans, this is what I got up to instead of whatever I was about to say in this video, which you'll never know. Actually, probably will, because I think I hold them up at some point in time. But just to let you know, those are the books that I'm reading. I don't want to like give you false expectations for the vlog. Anyway, I'm gonna go back to me from 3 weeks ago. I hope you enjoyed the video. Daisy also hopes you enjoy the video. So yes, we have those. And then I do have some manga that I could read this week as well, which does kind of fit into my short book kind of theme that I have going on. First of all, I have the first 5 volumes of the Apothecary Diaries, which one of my patrons really wants me to read, and I was asking for more manga recommendations, so I want to maybe read the first volume and give it a try, see what I think about it. And then I might also pick up the 12th volume of A Sign of Affection. I don't currently have it, but I haven't read it yet, so I'd like to get that, potentially, and read it as well. So I'm very excited about my TBR, but I do also have some, you know, like other fun things that I want to do this week as well. My main plan is I really want to start working in my new Hobonichi, which I'm so excited about. I put my little protective cover on it, so we're ready to go. But I want to make like the little first like new journal page and then do the last couple of weeks because I have not updated my other Hobonichi in like 2 months, honestly. So I'm kind of just giving up on that one and we are moving on because it's just better that way. I want to do that. And then I have also started a new knitting project, which I may or may not be working on throughout this vlog. After finishing this beast, I wanted something that was a little bit easier to work on, honestly. So I decided to start making the cardigan number 7 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. I have been eyeing this cardigan since like before I knew even how to knit. It just seemed like such a good basic cardigan. So I thought it seemed like just a really easy project to start working on, and like here's kind of how it's looking. I've separated for sleeves. It's like exactly the same construction as the first cardigan that I made, but I'm making it out of yarn that I like more, and I think I can make the like ribbing and the collar look a little bit better this time as well since I have more experience. So this is also like potentially what I could be working on. It is like a really big gauge. It's like 6.5mm needles, so it feels like it's flying by, honestly. And it's been really nice. I feel like I've been whipping through the first part of this so far, so maybe I'll make some progress on this. We'll see how my arms are feeling I don't know. So perhaps I'll do that as well. And then my other main goal for this week, the one thing that I really, really would like to do in my journal is I need to go back and finally update my bookshelf spread. As you can see, I only have like 8 books filled in. I think I've read like 30 books so far this year, maybe. My only problem is I was initially gonna do, thank you, Winnie. I was initially gonna change up the way that I was coloring the books on here. You know what, I'll talk about this later. We'll talk about, I'll go into my whole spiel about this a little bit later in the video when I do decide to tackle this, but like I'm just not happy with how I filled it in so far, so I don't know where to go from here. So I need to think about that a little bit, but I'll think about that later because I'm not gonna do it just yet. Yeah, let's just get into whatever I'm doing in this vlog. Hopefully it'll be very chill. I want to have a slow week. The 24-hour readathons are always fun, but they do wipe me out a little bit, so I want something a little more low-key this week. So that is my goal, but I hope you guys enjoy the vlog and let's just get on into it. Alright, so maybe like a week later. Also Daisy's here. You can see her right there. I don't know if you can see her like super well, but she's with us today. Oh, you're so cute. You know, last week, another bad week. Guys, I don't know what's up with 2026, but it's not been a good year. But I am back. A week later, I have done some reading. I've done a lot of knitting. I do have quite a few things to share with you. I have some books that I have acquired. So lots to share. I feel like this is gonna be kind of a long update, so strap in, get ready, because I have a lot of stuff that I want to talk about this morning. What should I talk about first? I'm kind of leaning towards talking about the books that I've acquired first because I'm so excited about these. First of all, last week, or I guess it's now been 2 weeks ago? Oh my god. I don't even know what's happening with time anymore. It's just like, no, we can't get into it. Sometime this month, I read Paladin's Hope, which is the third book in the, I almost call it the Plated Prisoner series. What's going on today? In the Saint of Steel series, it's not even close. It's not even a similar title. The Saint of Steel series, I read Paladin's Hope, which is the third book. And I've been wanting to buy the fourth book, but obviously I wasn't going to buy the fourth book until I read the third book. And I finally have Paladin's Faith. And it is so beautiful. Look at this in all of her pink glory. I am obsessed with this book cover. I love just all of the book covers of the Saint of Steel series, these like new ones that they came out with, like that Orbit came out with, and I love them so much. Except for the one for Paladin Strength. I kind of hate the one for Paladin Strength. But the other three are so beautiful, and I'm so happy that I have this and I can read this. It's also very long. I feel like, is this the longest one maybe in the Saint of Steel series so far? It's 450 pages, but I'm very excited about this one. I don't know who it's following. I don't remember anything about Shane, but he's one of the paladins, so I cannot wait to get into this. It looks so good. Just like from everything that's going on the cover so far, so good. And I absolutely loved Paladin's Hope, so I feel like this one's also gonna be so good. So I have this, and I hopefully will be reading this soon, maybe in May, we'll see. And now the other books that I am now the proud owner of. 6 volumes of A Sign of Affection. I told you guys in my last video, or like my second to last video, whatever, that I bought the first 6 volumes of A Sign of Affection because there was a listing for them on Pango and they were only like 30 bucks, and I thought that was a pretty good deal for 6 volumes of manga. So I bought it, and now they're here and they're so beautiful. I just love the spines, like the colors, the like cover art for them. So freaking cute. As you guys may know, I am obsessed with this series right now. It is so good. And so many of you love this series as well, which has been so fun to talk about with you guys in like the comments and whatnot. So I'm so happy that I have the first 6 volumes. I don't know if I'm going to commit to collecting the rest of the series. We'll see. It kind of sounds expensive, so I don't know if I want to do that. But like the first 6 volumes, I'm okay with having the first 6 volumes, and they're so cute. They're so cute. So I need to find like a good spot for these on my shelf, which I might do later this morning, which could be kind of fun. We can do like a little bit of bookshelf rearranging. So that is the book mail. I think I'll save my crafty updates for the end of this because I do want to continue to talk about some books. Because even though I haven't been filming this week, I have been reading this week. Not much, like not as much as you would think for it having been like a week, but I feel like when stuff starts to go wrong for me personally, I just stop reading. Like there's no escapism for me, like for my personal problems with reading. I just always feel so distracted and like I can't really get into the story enough to like want to read. So I haven't really been doing a ton of reading this week. I've read 2 volumes of manga and I listened to an audiobook, but like a very short audiobook. So, well actually no, we're not going to say that this is not a lot of reading. So we're not going to say disparaging things about the volume of reading because in the grand scheme of things, does it really matter? No. And I want us all to remember that. But let me talk about the reading that I have done because I am pretty excited about the books that I have finally read. So, first of all, the book that I read first was volume 1 of the Apothecary Diaries. I have 5 volumes of this and I've only read the first one, but I liked the first one. I was entertained. I have questions. I'm probably going to be continuing the series. Do I feel the same way about the first volume of this that I felt towards the first volume of like A Sign of Affection? No. Like, I don't think it's going to be an automatic, oh my god, obsessed kind of thing. But I'm enjoying it enough that I'm probably going to continue the series. Basically, it's about our main character, Mao Mao, who ends up, like, I think she ends up getting, like, stolen or something, like, kidnapped by some people. And she ends up going to work for the royal court, and one day she ends up catching the eye of one of the emperor's consorts people, I guess, and he's like, well, you seem like pretty educated for being a maid and like all of this, so like you're gonna work with the emperor's consort now. Kind of as an apothecary, as you would maybe assume by the title of the series. And she's super excited about this. She's been wanting to put her apothecary skills like to use for some time, so like that's all well and good. There's also this whole like grander curse scheme thing that is afoot within the kingdom where a lot of the emperor's heirs end up dead within like the first year of their life or whatever. So I feel like that's gonna be kind of a grander plot that we are tackling throughout the series. But so far, I'm liking it a lot. I think it's very funny. I'm already really liking the dynamic between Mao Mao and Jinshi, who is like he works for one of the Emperor's consorts. They definitely have like a very, like already like off the bat kind of like antagonistic, like he really wants to irritate her and she is like just having none of it, honestly. So I'm excited to see more of that and how it develops throughout the series, and just like overall, I like it. Do I have anything else to say about it? No, I've only read one volume, but like thus far, it was a good time, and I will probably read volume 2 at some point this week. So Apothecary Diaries was great, and then also I read volume 12 of A Sign of Affection. I did end up buying the ebook. I don't think I wanna, like I said, collect the manga. So for now, I just bought the ebook. It was also on sale. So I was like, hell yeah, thank you. And I really enjoyed volume 12. We were following our main characters as they went on like this amusement park date with like this guy who was friends with our main character Yuki. Like they've been friends since childhood or whatever. And he's just like, what is his name, like Ushi or something? He is such an interesting character in the series. I have many thoughts about him, and I just don't know how to feel about him, honestly, which I feel like makes him a great character to be included in the series. He's very pushy, and he's very into Yuki, and like all the time he's coming up to Itsuomi, who is like Yuki's boyfriend, obviously. Well, I don't know why I'd say obviously, as if you guys just like know what's going on in the series. TLDR for this series, basically we're following our main character Yuki, who is deaf, and throughout the series we're following this relationship that she is building with our other main character Itsuomi, who is kind of like starting to learn sign language for her and all this. It is so cute, it is so good, I love it. But this other guy, he's like constantly begging Itsuomi, he's like, break up with Yuki, like you don't love her like I do, you don't get her like I do. Even though he definitely does, and like just like weird vibes, you know? But also when they were younger, he learned sign language so he could communicate with Yuki, and like he's been there for Yuki in a lot of different situations. So I'm like, that's all well and good. But like that does not excuse you acting like a weirdo for the entirety of the series. So like I just don't know how to feel about this man. And like the entirety of this volume is kind of focusing on this dynamic between the two of them and like them talking about things, and I thought it was interesting. Still don't know how I feel about this man, but it was interesting and I did really enjoy it. And then the last book, an actual book that I did read this week, is a book that wasn't even on my TBR for the week, so what can you do? But I wanted an audiobook to listen to, and I've heard really good things about the audiobooks for this series. So I decided to read the 3rd volume of the Unselected Journals of Emma M. Lyon. I read the first 2 volumes of this series back in January on ebook, and I was really enjoying them, and I started this one as well, but I just kind of like didn't get around to finishing it until now. I listened to the audiobook and I really liked it. But this is just such a great series, honestly. I know a lot of people are really enjoying this series right now for good reason, honestly. In this series, we're following our main character, Emma, as she is moving to this area of London called like St. Crispin's, I believe. Pretty sure it's made up. I'm pretty sure it's not a real place, but we are kind of following her as she is getting settled into this new place, into this new house. She is living with her uncle, who literally, like, every time he's on the page, he pisses me off. He's just so hateful for absolutely no reason, and if I were Emma, he would be getting kicked out of my house so quickly. There are a lot of other reasons why he also sucks. Arthur, me and Arthur have beef. Is that his name? I think his name is Arthur. It's something that starts with an A. I don't even care enough about this man to know his name. But I do not like him. I know I don't like him. But aside from just him, it's kind of like a very slice of life series. We are reading these journal entries from Emma as she is just chronicling her time, getting to know all of these different people in St. Crispin's, kind of just seeing what she gets up to. There are a lot of very wacky characters, I would say, in this series without them being like too over the top. They add a lot of life to the story without them feeling like caricatures, which I do really appreciate. But in this one, we are continuing to follow Emma as she is going about her life. You see her kind of growing closer with, honestly, like, a lot of different men. I don't exactly know where the like romance subplot in this series is going, because I'm sure there's going to be one, but there's so many options. Like, so many men come in and out of Emma's life, and I'm like, I could see that, like, there's one that you're kind of rooting for probably, but there are just so many different men on the table. Which I think is very interesting, and it keeps me on my toes. I do appreciate that. I feel like most of the time in series I'm like, well, obviously this is where the romance is going. But in this one, I'm like, I don't know. And I feel like it's kind of fun that way. So we're following that, and it's all fun and light, and I really like that. But I also really enjoy that there is some time in this book specifically to explore Emma's grief, because at the beginning of this series you do find out that somebody very close to Emma did pass away in war, I believe. And in this one, she's kind of confronted with that a little bit, and she's working through it with some help of some people near her. And I feel like that offered a really good counterbalance to the, like, you know, funny, silly, light stuff going on. It's got a little bit more of an emotional beat to it, which I really liked. And overall, the series is just great. I'm probably gonna start listening to the audiobook for the 4th volume, like, later today. I do have some sewing that I want to do later today, so I'll probably listen to the audiobook for the 4th one. And I'm very excited about that. But that's kind of the reading that I've gotten up to this week. But I do have some crafting updates that I'd like to give you guys as well, because I've done quite a bit of knitting and I'm about to do quite a bit of sewing today. So I wanted to share like what I've gotten up to, because I did work on the thing that I told you I was going to work on, and then I have something else which we'll talk about. So first of all, as for my cardigan, what is this, number 7 maybe? I decided I love a mid-project block, guys. Like, I just think a mid-project block is so fun. So I've actually done a mid-project block on both of these things, so like it's just fun for me, you know. But here's how my cardigan number 7 is looking. I'm really liking the drape. Big fan of how this yarn is feeling right now, and I thought I could give you guys like a wee little try on, because there's really like not that much to try on. But I ended up sizing down half a needle because my set doesn't have like a 7mm needle, which is what this calls for. So I was hoping it wouldn't be like too dense, and I feel like it's gonna be good. I feel like I'm liking it so far. It looks a bit like weird and boxy at the moment, but it should look better once we have sleeves on it and like a collar and the rest of it. So that's how my cardigan number 7 is going so far, but it's not my exciting knitting update because I started something different and I've been having so much fun working on this. I know I started the cardigan number 7 because I was like, oh, I just want something easy and like quick to do or whatever, but I decided to cast on a stranded colorwork garment. I've never done stranded colorwork really before. My Norma sweater is like very, very basic colorwork. This is like not, but I was like, you know what? This is so cute. I want to give it a try. So I'm currently working on the Forget Me Not jumper by Florence Miller. She's the same pattern designer that did the Step by Step sweater, which is actually right here. I just have it sitting here because Daisy's sleeping on it right now, but this is how it's looking so far. I am contemplating ripping back. I've started like the leaf motif on this, and it's like my colorwork tension isn't great. It's my first attempt at doing it, and I've looked up some like tips and stuff. Oh, this one looks pretty good. Well, good for me, but I might rip back to like before I started doing the green leaves and like redo this, because I think I can make it look better and that wouldn't be too much of an imposition. I think the blue flowers are looking all right though. I think they blocked out pretty nice. I did a mid-project block on this too because I was a bit worried about my colorwork tension, and while some of it blocked out, some of it did not block out. So I need to figure out if I want to rip it back or if it's really that bad. Maybe I'll just make it look better from here on out. I don't know. Let me put this on and kind of show you how it looks on. I'm so happy about it. I just think it looks so fun. I feel like this is gonna be the perfect like winter sweater. I'd say like spring, but I'm not gonna finish this in spring if I had to take a guess. And if I do finish it in spring, it'll be like early June kind of spring, and that is not like stranded colorwork wearing weather. But I'm really happy with it. I've never done like a circular yoke before, but I think it's kind of fun. I don't know how it's gonna look on me. I don't know if I'm gonna like the look of a circular yoke, but the pattern has just been so fun to work on, and like I've learned how to catch my floats and everything like that. So I feel like it's been a good project to work on this weekend. I am gonna give it a rest for a while though, because I think I maybe like maxed out the amount of work that my hands could do right now. But I wanted to show it to you guys because I'm pretty happy with how it's looking so far. Again, like might undo the leaf section of it, but I don't even mind because I had such a good time working on this. So that's my other knitting project that I've been working on. And then the thing that I did this morning actually is I cut out another pair of pants to make. I'm making them out of this blue gingham, but I tried making some adjustments to the lane pants, which is the pattern that I've been using for this. I didn't really love the fit of them on me personally for the first couple of pairs that I've made, so I'm hoping these adjustments maybe fix some stuff. I don't know, we'll see. But I think I'm gonna put these together today. I think that's everything that I have to share with you guys in this little update. It's been a long update for sure, but it's been a week since I last saw you guys. I literally filmed the intro, filmed some journaling, and then I dipped. Oh my gosh, I forgot I even made like the title page for my Hobonichi, which I'm so happy about. I love making my Hobonichi title pages. It's just like the best way for me to use whatever random assortment of stickers I have, and I feel like it always ends up just being a really fun process. So hopefully we'll be like doing some more journaling and hobonichiing throughout the rest of this vlog and some reading and all that good stuff. So hopefully we'll have a better week this week. We're just gonna try again. So I'm gonna like do some reading today. I'm gonna do some sewing today, and I will get back to you guys tomorrow. No, probably the next day. Wednesday. Alright, so it is now Friday morning. I know I said I was gonna be back on Wednesday, and then I wasn't. It's just been another week, honestly, but don't want to dwell on that. Don't want to get into it. So let me just tell you what I have gotten up to this week, aside from like all of the school stuff that I've been doing, and I have so much school stuff to do. Let me tell you, I have so much stuff that I've been putting off, and it is terrible. It is so bad. I have a paper due next week. We haven't even started on it. I have an exam next week. Haven't started studying for that yet. So I do need to like work on that over the next 3 days, but I'm hoping to also at least finish up some of my reading plans that I had for this vlog. I haven't even really started on any of them because I did decide to read like the, what is it, the 4th Emma M. Lyon book, I think, and I started the 5th one because right now that series is very much just like a comfortable, cozy series, and that's kind of what I need right now. But as I said, I finished a book. I also did make my pants, which I thought I would show you guys. They are blue gingham pants. This fabric is like super thin. It's pretty see-through, so these are gonna be probably like pajama pants really. But I liked the adjustments that I made to the pattern, so I'm kind of thinking I could get like a thicker material, like a higher quality material to make these out of, and I'd probably like them and wear them more. We'll see, but I liked this. I took like a decent amount of width out of the waist while keeping the same width in like the rest of the pants, and I think that fits me a little bit better and looks better on me. So pants were made. I did finish them. And then, as I said, I ended up finishing a book. I finished volume 4 of the Unselected Journals of Emma M. Lyon. I really liked this one as well. I am just loving this series right now, and it really is like a series I need in my life right now. The 4th one was a really interesting installment in the series, and I really liked the new like emotionalness to the series that it brought, because as I mentioned in the 4th one, we are kind of focusing on Emma confronting her grief in terms of this really close friend that she lost, but she also lost her parents when she was, I don't know if it was much younger. I can't remember how old she was, but like just a lot of really tragic things have happened in Emma's life. And I feel like the first couple of books, they talk about it obviously, and there are moments for those, but it kind of more focuses on the Emma getting acquainted with everything, like meeting these silly characters and all of that. But I like that the 3rd one kind of introduced a more like emotional, a bit sadder kind of feeling to the series. And the 4th one, I feel like really is focusing on Emma confronting that grief, but also getting closure and allowing her to not obviously like move on with her life, but just feel a little bit more settled with everything that's happened, and it doesn't feel like so up in the air and unfinished anymore. And I feel like that was really necessary for her character and for the series. And while there were like a lot of upbeat moments obviously in the 4th volume as well, that made it a lot lighter, added some levity to the book. A lot of it, especially like the second half, was focused on that. And it was just an interesting diversion for the series, but I feel like a necessary one. I feel like it adds a lot of layers to Emma's character, and I really enjoyed a lot of the interactions that it brought about. So big fan of like all of that, but I also just really enjoyed kind of the more like found family feeling aspect of the 4th one. In the first couple of books, we're kind of focused on like a bunch of different characters in Emma's life and kind of her individual relationships with them. But I feel like in the 4th one, we're kind of forming like a group almost, which I really enjoy the dynamic of that group, and I think it's really fun, and I'm excited to see how that develops going forward. It's a very interesting group, might I say. I do feel like it's kind of just like Emma and her harem of men. But it's hilarious, honestly. And I love that for her. And I just really like all the characters in the series. Well, for the most part. Like, some of them suck, obviously. But a lot of the characters just bring so much life and energy to this series. And I just really enjoy Emma's interactions with all of them, honestly. Like, it's always a delight. Like, I'm never bored with this series, which is great. Honestly, I'm having the best time. As I said, I've also started the 5th volume, which is significantly longer than the other ones. I've only listened to the audiobooks for like these last couple, but I feel like it was like a 3-hour audiobook and like a 4-hour audiobook, and like, oh my gosh, we're in like a 5-hour audiobook. And then it was like, bam, 8-hour audiobook. I'm like, damn. I'm not mad about it. I just think it's very interesting. But I am currently, 4% into volume 5 of this so far. So not a lot has happened, honestly, but I'm really excited about the time of year that we're currently at in Emma's journals. The 4th volume left off on Halloween, which like you already know. I love that. And in the 5th volume, we are starting on November 1st, and we are moving into the very cozy times of year, which I'm quite excited about. I want the descriptions of London in like the late fall, early winter, so cannot wait for that. I feel like it's gonna be so good. So that's kind of where I'm at with that series. Really loving it. I feel like this vlog is really, it's turned from like me wanting to read short books to me just like reading this one series. But I think I might cool it with that series for now, so I can like read the other books that I said I was gonna read and books that I want to read. So I'll probably continue to listen to the audiobook for this, but I might also start the audiobook for The River Has Roots. I do have it from Libby. A lot of people on my Discord, my Patreon Discord, have said that the audiobook is excellent, and I have it borrowed and one person's waiting, so I feel like I should read it so I can get it to that person. So I might listen to that today and see if I can finish it up today. I feel like that might be kind of nice. I might do a little bit more sewing. I've really been enjoying doing some sewing recently, so I might like do a little audiobook sewing combo. I love the audiobook sewing combo, you already know. So that's kind of how the reading has gone so far this week. Not a lot, not a lot. Just the one, but I'm happy with the one, so like it's all good. But I think my immediate plan for this morning is I want to do more journaling. I feel like I've done so much journaling in this video. We've done 2 spreads already. Was the first one I did a spread? What was the first? I know I did. What was the first thing that I did in this vlog? I know I did more. Oh, it was the Hope and Ichi. I'm already forgetting. That was like a week and a half ago, guys. But a couple days ago, I did make my Q1 wrap-up spread. Oh, I also want to show you guys I made this really cute Ponyo spread in my journal as well. I showed you guys I watched the movie last week now, and I absolutely loved it. I've never seen Ponyo before, but it was so freaking cute. And I wanted to make a spread. I wasn't really sure how to do the spread for it, so I kind of just went with a collage. Because like Ghibli movies are so beautiful, I feel like the visuals need to be shown off adequately. So I made that last week, like sometime last week, and I forgot to show you. But I made that. I made my Q1 wrap-up spread, but today I want to focus on sorting out my bookshelf spread because I have not updated it since like late January, I think. And my problem with this, I said I was going to talk about this, so like now is the time to talk about this. I don't know how I want to color these books in. And I'm kind of thinking at this point I need to go with a whatever color I'm feeling for that book kind of vibe. Because initially with these spreads, I've been coloring them in based on the format that I read them in. So like audiobook, ebook, from the library, one of my physical books, whatever. And I've liked doing that, but like I'm just a bit bored of doing that because that's how I've been doing it since like 2022, maybe, since I like made the first one of these. And I just wanted to switch it up a bit. So like initially my plan was to color them in based on genre, which I don't know why I thought this was gonna work very well. Because like, you know, 75% of the books that I read, maybe more, maybe less, I don't know. It's like whatever percentage of them, a high percentage of the books that I read are fantasy. So like I have so many green books like right here and like no other color really. So I just feel like it'd be too much green. So I think I'm just gonna be a bit more freeform with it going forwards. I'm just gonna choose whatever color for the book that I want. It doesn't have to have a key. I've done the key thing. It was fun. I don't need it anymore. So I think that's gonna be the vibe for my bookshelf, and I really would like to update this because I only have 7 books that are currently on here, and I have read 40 books so far this year. So I have 32 books to add into this spread. That's probably gonna be like the entirety of this page. So I wanna do that this morning for sure. I'm very excited about that now that I've just had the epiphany to not color code them. I feel like this is a good plan. Am I gonna do anything else today? Aside from like reading, I might water my plants. My plants are looking super sad right now. And sometimes the only thing that gets me to water my plants is to film it. It's a little bit of motivation, so maybe we'll do that. I have sprints with my patrons this afternoon, so maybe I'll do some knitting and listening to my audiobook. I don't know. So many plans. I really want to get back to working on my forget-me-not sweater, so I might do that. That could be kind of fun. So yeah, I just want to focus on having a nice chill weekend while still being productive because I do have to like start writing a paper and studying. So yeah, hopefully we can get some reading done. I'm really, really hoping I can finish at least like 2 of the books I said I was going to. Sorry for the minor chaos that has come from this vlog, but yeah, that's just how it is sometimes. So yeah, I hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all having a good day, whatever day it is you're watching this video. And I'm gonna try to have a good day myself. So let's get into it with some journaling and some plant care. Alright, so it's now Sunday morning. It has been yet another week since I last updated the vlog. Guys, I think this vlog is just cursed, honestly. I need to end it. It has been like 3 weeks now, I think, going on, which honestly, like the last 3 weeks feel like they haven't even happened. So that's making me a little bit sad, but we're moving on. We're finishing this video. I'm gonna give you guys my final updates. I have knitting, reading, book acquiring updates, and then we'll be done. The vlog will be done. I'll be done with this last 3 weeks. Honestly, this last 3 weeks has been a roller coaster. I've just had a lot of stuff going on in my personal life, stuff that I want to share, stuff that I'm not gonna share right now. I still don't 100% know, like, what's up, so I don't want to, like, share until I know more, but I do want to talk about it eventually. But, like, right now is not the time. So let me just talk about more fun stuff and tell you guys the actually probably just book singular, that I have finished, the book that I bought, and the knitting that I've done. So as you guys will have seen in my the last like B-roll clip that I filmed, I went to Barnes & Noble to pick up a book that I'm so excited about. Because The Antiquarian's Object of Desire by India Holton came out on Tuesday, and I went on Thursday to pick it up, and it is beautiful. Look at her. I cannot wait to get into this one. I'm going to be starting a new vlog in a couple of days, and I'm going to be reading this. And it's going to be so good, I think. Super excited about this. I had an exam on Thursday, so like before the exam, I went to pick up this book as a little like, we're almost done with this stupid exam treat to myself. This is my book acquiring that I did since we last talked. And then I have also finished a book. I have also like made some progress in another book, which we can also talk about, but I want to talk about the book that I finished first, because I did read the entirety of The River Has Roots, like the only book from my original TBR that I actually managed to finish in this video. The original TBR is dead to me. The original TBR does not exist. But I read the entirety of this one yesterday, and I really liked it. I didn't love it. I feel like I've seen, this is my Patreon buddy read for the month, and I feel like I've seen a bunch of people in like my Discord giving it like 5 stars, and I really wish I could be there, but like, I just feel like with a novella like this, especially with the fairy tale vibe that it has going on, it just wasn't long enough for me to get invested in either of the characters and like care to the extent that I wanted to care. I really enjoyed it. I liked the story a lot. I liked the writing, but like I just didn't feel as connected with it as I wanted to be, and it is so short. It's like 100 pages max, I think. Or no, it's 129 pages, so like still very not long. But basically like the whole story of this one is that we are following these 2 sisters who are a part of the Hawthorne family, who tend these willow trees that are kind of on the border between like the human realm and the fairy realm, and you're following them and learning what their experience is like living on the border of fairy, kind of seeing how that trickles into their like human world, as well as some like romantic exploits that some of them may have, for better or for worse. And I really enjoyed that. I liked their sisterly bond and all of that. Like that was all well and good. But my favorite part of this book was the way that it was told. So like the narration, the imagery, just the word choice, everything about it was so fairy tale-like and whimsical, with like a little bit of a darker undertone to it, which is typically how I like stories involving fae to be written, so like big fan of that, obviously. I thought the magic system was really unique. It has a lot to do with like actual grammar and conjugation and the way that certain things can be translated between like the human language and the language that the fae use, which I've never really encountered in a book before, and I loved seeing how that was used, because there's a lot of leeway with that. There's a lot of whimsicality, if you will, that can be kind of like injected into that, since it's such a loose kind of magic system, which I just absolutely loved. Also, Amal Motar's writing is absolutely stunning. The way that they wrote about nature and the experience of being in fairy, oh my god, it was so good. It was so beautiful. If you want a short, well-written, whimsical story, I definitely would recommend picking this up. Even though I wasn't 100% invested in the story, I kind of wish it would have been longer. I feel like it definitely could have benefited from a little bit more page length. It was still really good in its like novella format. So really loved this. I'm not surprised that I liked this. I just wish I was a little bit more invested in the characters that we were following, but there was still a lot that I really enjoyed about it. So that is That's the only book that I finished since the last time that we talked. But it was a good one. I really, really liked it. So I have also made a little bit of progress in the... which one is it? I have also made a little bit of progress in the Unselected Journals of Emma M. Lyon Volume 5. Did I tell you I started that? I can't even remember what I told you in the last update, honestly. But I am 38% into the 5th volume of the Unselected Journals. And I'm really, really enjoying this one as well. I don't think I have anything else to, like, add that I haven't really said about the other 2 books that I read in the series throughout this vlog. But it's just a fun time. Honestly, like, this series has been exactly what I needed throughout this month because it's an easy read, it's fun, it's quirky, you're entertained, I love the characters, and I'm gonna continue to listen to Volume 5. I'm hoping I can finish it before the end of the month. There are 4 days left before the end of the month, so maybe I'll be able to do that. I'll keep you updated, but it's been good so far. And then the last update that I have for you guys is kind of an unhinged update, honestly, because, like, the amount of progress that I have made on my sweater since the last time that we talked is crazy, and I want to show you guys how it is looking right now because I may be separated for sleeves, I may be finished the entire colorwork chart, and I've separated for sleeves already. And I want to show it to you, obviously, because I'm super excited about it. Here is how my sweater is looking right now. I finished all of the flowers. I love how it's looking. I love the colors. Let me see if I can, like, pull one out. There we go. I'm so happy with it. This has been, like, truly such a joy to work on. I have not been, like, I find that in times of distress in my life, I find it really hard to, like, sit down and focus on a book. Just something about it, it does not offer any personal escapism for me. But, like, knitting and working on this specifically has been, like, the perfect outlet and thing to take my mind off of things over the last couple of weeks. So I've been having the best time. Like, doing color work is so fun. I love doing color work, and I want to do more color work. I need to make more color work sweaters after this, because I've kind of finished all the color work that's on this sweater. It's just, like, the top of it, really, that has color work on it. I am thinking about adding a little band of flowers along the cuff to kind of, like, add things in. They'll probably look like these up here, so I might do that to, like, do a little bit more color work, but, like, it was so fun. It was so fun. The only thing that was not fun is the fact that all of these centers on the bigger flowers I duplicate stitched, so I didn't have to do 3-stranded color work, and it was a pain in the ass, honestly. I dare say I should have just learned how to do 3-stranded color work to, like, finish these off, but it is what it is, and it's done. Well, like, the yoke is done. So, yep, this is how it's looking so far. I absolutely love this. I love the pattern. I love the way the yarns look together. I am a little bit scared about this darker blue bleeding, but I'm gonna knit up a swatch and I'll test that before I actually, like, block the whole garment. So I'm just choosing not to think about this, but I wanted to give you guys an update that, like, I finished the color work. And I love this. I haven't even finished this, and I love it. So that is my final update that I have for you guys for this vlog. My camera's gonna die very, very soon, so I need to go anyway. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this vlog, despite the fact that I did not read most of the books that I said I was going to. But I still read 5. Oh, I forgot even about, like, the volumes of manga. So, like, 5. Could be better, could be worse. I wish I would have read the books that I said I was gonna read. But, you know, best laid plans don't always come to fruition, and that's okay. But let me give you guys a quick recap of what I read, and then we're gonna go, because like I said, my camera's gonna die. But I read volume 1 of the Apothecary Diaries, which I enjoyed. I have not continued it. I don't know if I'm gonna continue it, honestly. It's been like 2 weeks now, and I haven't picked up volume 2, so, like, I don't know. But I did read volume 12 of A Sign of Affection as well. So good. I need volume 13 right now, but it doesn't come out until December, so it's fine. I read volumes 3 and 4 of the Unselected Journals of Emma M. Lyon, which I also absolutely loved. So despite the fact that this vlog did not go how I planned, it's just been a time, guys. It really has been a time. I would like to thank you all, though, for the kind comments on my post last week where I said I wasn't going to be posting for the week. I know you guys are super understanding, and I know that you guys don't care if I take a week off, but it's still hard to do it despite the fact that I know that you guys are the best and you would never, like, yell at me for not posting a video. So I'd like to thank you all for being so understanding, and I will be posting 2 videos this week, so I will be posting a video on Friday as well, so I will see you guys very, very soon, obviously. But for now, I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you again so much for watching. I hope you're all having an amazing Monday, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!